let's just do a one of those synchronized swimming dance routines real quick with each other, and that'll help you sync, okay? On 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the center, and here we go. Out to the there we are, and there, that's the shot. And you've now got your audio perfectly synced.
Okay, if I can make
You're
this
welcome.
work, that is 100% going to be the start of this video. That being said, hello everyone, and welcome to BoardGameCo. We'll see how this actually starts, because hopefully I was able to get that last thing in the shot.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't,
Uh-huh.
if it wasn't, then you just have no idea what I'm
Our
talking about.
personal moments together, Alex, are not to be included on the internet. How dare you?
This is a community, Jesse. It's a community of
right.
people, and they are our friends, our family, our loyal, any number of degrees of trolling that we can get away with. But effectively, so for those who don't know, let's just jump straight into this. This is basically, well, you saw the title, so I guess you do know. This is going to be our top 10 YouTubers in under 10. Sorry, top 10
Can you
under
explain
10
that a
in
little bit?
under 10.
Because you confused me the first time you sent this over, just for the record.
100%, and that's because I am more concerned with the name sounding fun and sounding engaging.
Sure.
Even if it's not immediately obvious. That is the nature
Then
of good content.
effectively communicating any information.
Effectively.
I understand
100%.
that.
So effectively what I'm trying to do here is I wanted to cover, I did a video, we both did videos in fact, of our top 10 YouTubers in different categories. Mine was more general, yours was specifically under 10,000 subs.
Yes.
And since then, the problem is, one of my favorite things about that video, one of my absolute favorite, is the sheer number of comments of people suggesting other channels. Some were channels that just inherently you can only count to 10 in a top 10 list, and others, I would say a good half the list, I got like 80 plus names, and half of them I didn't even know about, and I was so grateful for that. I was so grateful to add to my knowledge base of various channels, and not all of them are for me, and that's fine, but many were or are and have become channels that I view regularly. And so ever since then, I have had on my list the idea to do more of these top 10 lists about regarding content creators or YouTube specifically, but within subdivided categories, things that I specifically look for in different things. And so top 10 under 10 in under 10 is the idea that top 10, it's a terrible name, I love it. It's the idea that the top 10 are top 10 YouTubers that have content that is under 10 minutes long, and we're going to do this in under 10 minutes, which is an absolute
And
lie.
so you brought the two, probably, or at least one of the apparently slowest board game commentators on the platform to come give longer than 10-minute renditions about why he likes some channels that give their content in more concise little packages than his entire conversation
100%.
is.
You see, Jesse, one of the videos I watched...
Seems like a good plan.
100%. It is. One of the videos I watched from Quackalope before we met, before we were friendly or whatnot, is a video in which you threatened to talk about Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion in under 10 minutes.
Okay.
Do you recall that video?
No.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Do you think it was under 10 minutes?
It was not.
It was definitely not under 10 minutes.
It
Yes.
was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be.
All right, listen. I think I titled it Under 10 Minutes, sort of. I still got some flack in the comments, but the sort of was, if you broke it into the three parts that it was built from, you could find out about Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion in 10 minutes. You just had to choose what part you were interested in.
I agree, Jesse, and you, in fact, are the inspiration for this video. This video that is top 10 under 10 minutes in under 10 minutes. The fact that we're doing this in under 10 minutes refers to the concept that if you only pay attention to the names that we give and not us talking about them, in theory, you could absorb this video in under 10 minutes.
Because there's no way this is under 10.
Not a chance.
By the way, I was looking for every excuse possible to include you on this list, and spoiler alert, you can't do it. You can't make it either. You're also impossible to get underneath that 10-minute mark.
I have 2 videos, I believe, that are under 10. 2.
Yeah.
I think, actually, no, Project L. My Project L expansion review is also, I might have 3.
If you want to establish the framework for the people that we've chosen, it'll explain why you are disqualified.
Sure. So the framework that I use, and we talked about this before, and I shared my process, because it can be hard to find people with content under 10 minutes. And the nature of board games is there is a lot to explain, and sometimes it can be hard to find any channel that consistently has content under 10. And so I explained that the way I was looking at this is the concept that as long as any content creator, any YouTuber had consistent content under 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be all of it, but it had to be to the point where you weren't scrolling through pages of videos. Maybe they have even 75% of their content might be live plays, but if they have a good 25% of content under 10 minutes, or even better, if they have a specific series within their content that is under 10 minutes, then that is what I was looking for. I just want the idea that when people are bored of listening to you or I, when they find that we go ramble on too long, when our videos,
bored of us.
There are people. They're not the people watching this video, obviously, but outside there are.
I actually specifically know one that doesn't watch any of my content. It's my co-host Jan.
Yes, well, that's hard. It's hard. Your content is long, hour-long playthroughs. Me talking for a Kickstarter about 20 minutes when the ultimate message is either do or don't back this.
You ramble and ramble. It just goes on forever. I mean, I just want to find out what the game is and if I should support it, not your spiel around why the BGG hot list doesn't accurately track the financial value of a game 17 years
100%.
in the future, and if investing with your money now today on dice and chips is a good investment plan outside of some other portfolio building scheme. Like, you're competing
100%.
with Dave Ramsey. I appreciate it. I just don't need it.
Can you imagine having a video that's about a specific subject and being 6-7 minutes into the video before you even touch upon the subject? Can you imagine the audacity of it?
I can't. It'd be terrible. It'd be the
horrible.
worst. I mean, that content would just be unwatchable.
Nobody
would
would watch it. The people would drop off in the first 3 minutes. I don't know who would continue.
And they'd have every right to do so.
Every right to do so. And so I realized that I have actually been sharing my screen this entire time, which you don't see, but I see. So I guess I'll start off my list. And one more thing I'll say, because we actually decided that we know ourselves, and we know that if we're doing top 10 each, it would take forever. And so we actually chose to do is we chose to split this into 5 and 5. We don't know each other's lists. We assume there's going to be some overlap.
I've got some guesses, but I hope some of mine are very different from yours, because I picked some people that I watch that I don't even know if you've discovered.
Ooh, well, that would be the best part. In any case, so I'll start off with my number 1, and I did rank them from least to most favorite, but understand, take that with a grain of salt.
Okay,
they're my top 5.
I did not.
You don't have to.
I did not.
You don't have to.
The way I'm going to rank is the same way that I did in my under 10K ranking,
which is
least subscriber to most subscriber. Because if people tune off at a certain point, I'd like them to see the people that are maybe less known about compared to some of the standards.
Makes sense and makes me feel bad about my first pick, because my first pick is Jamey Stegmaier. So, yes, I did not think he'd be on your list, 100%.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, and he actually has the most subscribers, coming in at 28.3 subscribers, 28.3 thousand subscribers, topping
only 28.3.
Only 28.3. Now, so I didn't think he'd be on your list because he's not. I know you like indie people, you like sharing people who are growing, and that's mostly true for myself as well. And honestly, the larger people don't really have small content. But Jamey has this segment that I absolutely love. It is fun to watch every single time, because it's a segment called My Favorite Game Mechanism. And in that segment, what he does is he picks a game that either, sometimes it's a game, I find for some reason, I usually click on it more if I know the game than if I don't know the game, which is interesting, because usually, I mean, you think that's about discovery, but in this case, I like to hear what he's saying about the games I love. But he'll pick a game, and he'll like say Res Arcana or The Crew or any game, whatever it is, and then he'll just talk about something that makes that game stand out. What is it about the game that's different? What is his favorite game mechanism? And the reason I love those segments so much is, to begin with, they are generally under 10 minutes, closer to the range of 5 minutes. They are short, they are consumable, easy to watch, not like you or I or whatnot. I mean, honestly, his whole video would be finished before we even started talking about our first person on this list. Wow. But I like it because I often look for uniqueness in the games I'm keeping. When I'm keeping a game in my collection, when I'm constantly purging things, it's usually very often something I'm like, what makes this game stand out? What does it do either better or differently than other games that makes it a game that stays in my collection? And that's why I like hearing Jamey talk about my favorite game mechanism.
Very interesting. I have not dove into Jamey's content as much. I am familiar with that series, but I haven't spent a lot of time watching it. I'm gonna have to circle back around and give it a closer look.
Yeah, it's fun. I highly recommend subscribing. He's got good content, but that is the specific series that I have from him.
Interesting. All right, I suppose I'll pull in my first one then. My first one is going to be standing at a strong 450 subscribers.
Okay.
This is going to be Stephanie with minimum player count. Are you familiar with this one?
I believe I am. Stephanie, minimum player count. She's on Instagram as well, right?
She is,
Did she just join Board Game Spotlight?
I'm not entirely sure if she just joined Board Game Spotlight or not. If she did, good for her. It's super exciting.
I've just pulled her up. She is indeed the person who has just joined Board Game Spotlight.
Awesome.
So, yeah, go ahead. Tell me. I'll tell you what I know, but you go first.
Sure. Congratulations to her if she's watching this at some point or not. Here's what I can say about her content. I don't follow her on a lot of other social media platforms, but I like her YouTube videos a lot. High production quality. She has a good camera demeanor. And she's informative on what she's talking about in normally that 6 to kind of 8 minute mark. Now, she covers a lot more lightweight party or family game type of stuff, which isn't always my style. But every time I've seen her videos pop up on the scroll, I always think to myself, either, why is she only at 450 subscribers? Or, I'm excited to see where she is when she's continued to do this for a significant amount of time. So knowing that she's partnered up with Board Game Spotlight, she's going to be working with some incredible other creators there. I think Ruel is going to be joining them as well. I know Derek and Lizzie and James. That is a powerhouse of a team, and so I think she's in a really good position when it comes to like positioning and getting a voice in this space. I think she has incredible quality, and she does something that I do on almost all of her videos. She layers just a little bit of music behind the scenes, which I appreciate because for me, the way my brain works, if there's not something there just to keep me moderately distracted, I'll lose interest or kind of go off to the side. So I find that I watch her videos on average longer than others, even though they're within that that 10-minute mark,
Sure.
because that little extra touch of detail keeps me engaged with her content.
Cool.
That's the one I brought in.
Yeah, and I can answer part of that. It looks like, based on YouTube, it looks like she only has 35 videos on YouTube, which means she's still new,
Yes.
very, very new.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe it's like 4 to 5 months ago is where she really at least popped up on the YouTube scene.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see how she does. I'd like to see more and more content coming out of her. But knowing that she's partnered up, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm already subscribed, which basically for me, if we would have done this like 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I would have known, but she kind of popped up on my Instagram feed one time, and just I hit follow or whatnot, and that was great. And then 2 days later, I see in Board Game Spotlight a little live stream, and I click on it, and it's a video of them introducing Ruel and her to the team.
Nice.
And I was like, I literally just found this person.
I knew Ruel, and he does incredible content as well. But I mean, Stephanie, man, that's such a good team. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, it's awesome. I am subscribed. I don't think I've actually watched any of her videos, but I now I have to. That's awesome. Excellent.
Yeah, you know me. One of the cornerstones of the things I pick is production quality and audio. If those two things are are not up to standard for me, or at least across a barrier, it makes it really hard for me to put that on my list. And she excels at both of those things. So.
That's awesome, and in hindsight, it makes me very, very wonder how we ever met, because back then, man, oh my gosh, back then, my production.
You put me on a list, and then you made fun of me.
Well, that is something that will continuously happen over time, Jesse.
we met this way.
Yes. Okay, so I will move on to my number 4, which counting down is 8. Let's just stick with 5. Count to 5. So my number 4 pick, and again,
let's start on 7. Can we start on 7?
We can start on 7. It's a good number.
Great.
So my number 7 pick, the second pick, number 7 in that order, is going to be a channel that is actually very new to me. Meaning, like when I've been drafting these lists of my top 10 YouTubers in different categories for a while, and this video, had I done it 2 weeks ago, this channel would not have been on the list. This channel would be
I'm so nervous you're going to hit something that I've picked. Okay,
so this channel is known as, well, they're not known as, they're called Beastie Geeks. This is a completely, you look up, have a twinkle in your eye. So Beastie Geeks is a completely new channel with, I believe, something like 20 videos total. Let's see, they have 24 videos total on their channel. They have been doing this for 1 month. They've been up and running for 1 month. I've only just discovered them because they've only just existed.
All right, so I've been on the road for 3 weeks straight. Just for context, that is a hard time period for me to discover a brand new channel. I'm super excited that you're bringing them up, though. Very cool.
They're awesome. And by the way, one of the things I love about them is the speed at which they are already improving their quality, improving their audio, their video, improving their ability to deliver a clear and concise message without rambling for 15 minutes. They have moved quickly. Now, they will have some content that is an hour long, or 37 minutes long, or basically longer content. But their first 4 videos were basically 4 unboxing videos coming in at 2 minutes. You don't get props for that. I mean, you do get props for that, but that's not what I'm looking for in a content creator.
I mean, listen, I just released an unboxing video. It was only 17 minutes long.
Only 7. That's honestly impressive, Jesse. Yeah. Good on you. Kudos.
Thank you.
So, but what I would say is their most recent video was the video, like, they were on my shortlist. I have a shortlist here, and as soon as I discovered them, I kind of put them on the list because their content, they have a lot of short content. I would say maybe 50% of their content is under 10 minutes, and usually in that 6 to 8 minute range. And I was on the fence about whether to include them because of how good their content is, but like I said, it has gotten progressively better. Their most recent video is a video. Go ahead.
You were not going to include them because their content was so good?
No, because their content was short, but there was a barrier of, it has consistently gotten better. And the level of their content where it was, while I still would have enjoyed them and they would have made my shortlist, I think I would have wanted to pick someone else other than them for my list.
But because you're seeing them improve.
Correct.
Awesome.
Their most recent video on Etherfields, it's a review of Etherfields, is an amazing video to watch. In 8.5 minutes, they concisely start the video by destroying all the cons of Etherfields, all the things they don't like. This is terrible. These figures don't balance. They don't sleeve. The insert's horrible. And then they spend the next 4 minutes building it back up and talking about how it's their favorite game. They simultaneously tear at your heartstrings and build it back up in a way that was masterful, and I don't think it was manipulative. I think it was genuine, and they back up all their content, all their opinions with facts. They show you the insert, they show you the minis falling over, they show you the things that were problematic before then labeling it their best game of the year or something in that category. And
so
go ahead.
Whenever they watch this, I just want to say, hello, I'm the freak that went after we recorded this video and quacked on every video on your page, just for the record.
Oh, awesome. There's only 24. It's not a hard job. It's easy. It's easy when you do this. But yeah, that's basically Beastie Geeks. New channel, fresh off the boat. Keep your eye on them. They are delivering quality content, and they are improving rapidly, far faster than I ever did.
That's exciting. I really, really want to watch that Etherfields video now.
Oh, it's great.
I'm very curious.
It's great. Highly recommend. Again, they have other stuff. That was the video that pushed me over the edge. That was the video I was like, they're not just good. They're set on for good things.
Very, very cool. All right, my number 7. I didn't actually check the subscriber count on these two, so they're very close, and there's one of them that I have the number, there's one of them that I don't. So I'm going to bring in as my second, because I believe she is slightly...
As your 7th.
Exactly. She is slightly underneath my number 8, which would be my third. I'm going to bring in 3-minute board games.
3-minute board games. Wait a second. I thought you ordered this list from... Your subscriber count game is way off.
Is it?
3-minute board games has 43,000 subscribers.
Oh, sorry. No, I read the wrong thing.
Well, no. Stick with it. Stick with it.
Yeah.
We'll come back. You can't reorder now. It's spoilers.
I have this. I have this card, and I just trusted whatever I was reading. You're right. 3-minute board games is not the lower subscriber number, and this is a BoardGameCo video, which means nothing gets edited.
Nothing gets edited at all.
Something along the lines of 3-minute board games is the grandfather of all quick content when it comes to board game internet stuff across the board. He is not only a gentleman and a scholar who's been very good and kind to me since the very start of my YouTube career, but also puts so much time and effort into making concise, informative, and highly produced board game videos in 3 minutes or so. I mean, they're usually like a 3 to 5 minute range. He has started doing some longer form content with his wife, longer discussions on their top 10 lists and stuff, but the cornerstone of his page is that 3-minute content. And so, is he on your list? I have to know.
I cheated. He's not on my list, but for a very specific reason. Okay. I know that you like his stuff, and I had to cut my videos down to. I had to cut my choices down to 5 people, And so
Yeah.
I specifically, this is the only one that I did this in because this is the only one I was certain you were picking. And so
I had to.
yeah, you had to. And I mean, I assumed it would happen. And he was 100% on my list. In fact, my original list when I first started this had 2 names. And he was one of those 2 names on that original list. The other one will be my number 1 pick. And so I specifically took him off my list with the confidence that you were going to pick him, and I would therefore be able to cram as much stuff as possible into these videos, because that is what I do at BoardGameCo.
So since you cheated, what's your stance on 3-minute board games?
Oh, he's awesome. He's incredible. I remember my first video I watched from him was I want to say Giant Killer Robots. JKR was. Okay. I watched this GKR, not JKR. Giant Killer Robots, spelled the wrong way entirely. So GKR, Giant Killer Robots, was a video that I was looking at to acquire for my own collection, and I found this video that was like 3 minutes or less, and I was like, well, I got time for that, and I clicked on it. And then watched rapidly as things flew across the screen while managing to concisely and accurately convey an amazing picture of what the game was, followed up at the end with, I love the fact he does this, like with this, and if you like this, you'll like this, and if you want this, you'll like that. And the whole thing was so concisely well done, I instantly hit subscribe and consistently turn towards him when I want concise information about a game. Not feelings, not opinions. If I want, you know, if I want to be completely sold on a game with a complete lack of substance, I'll go to Quackalope instead.
Yep.
Whereas if I want...
with flavor text, that is some degree of substance, my good sir.
But if I just want to know what a game plays like, if I want to get a feel for the game, if I want to see if the mechanics are a fit for me, 3-minute board games has been someone I go to consistently for a long time. I was fully prepared on the off chance you did not include him on your list. I would have shoved him at the end, breaking all rules of this game.
Well, and here's the thing I can say. Mechanics is going to be the key point for me. I'll sit down and read flavor text, and that'll be like a 60-second video or something along those lines. But his skill really comes in conveying what the systems that are operating within and behind the scenes of the game you're playing, what those are in such a concise and good format. So anyone that isn't familiar with his stuff, I mean, we don't need to sell it much more than that. Go check out his stuff. He's going to be he's not only going to be the grandfather, but also probably the king of short content on YouTube for as far as I can see in the future.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And I think he, given my list and given yours, I think he might be the channel with the highest subscriber count from both of our lists.
I believe so. Despite the fact that he was not supposed to be included at that point, but that's all right. Do your number 9.
You joking? I was going to call it my number 12. And you just take my joke out of my mouth. Anyways, my number 12, or 9, however it might be, is going to be Meeple University, and specifically their segment called Stella's Short and Sweet. This is basically, Stella and I should know her husband's name, Stella and someone else. Unfortunately, I apologize when you see this. So close. I should have prepped better. But basically, they do two forms of content that are excellent, and one of them is going to be rules breakdown. They have gotten progressively better and better at their rules breakdowns. Those are not 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long. Rather, Stella's Short and Sweet is her segment where generally, and I would say it's generally under 5 minutes. It can creep a little higher than that, but then again, still under 10 minutes. She will go through her opinion of a board game, a short review. It's not going to be a full, compact 3-minute board game style video where you get every little piece of information crammed in. Rather, it's more of an impression, high notes of the game, her opinion, things she liked, things she didn't like. They managed to do a consistent job delivering an excellent feeling for what the game is like in, well, generally 5 minutes or so.
Yep, absolutely. I know I usually see these oftentimes in combination with Kickstarters that I'm a part of.
Yes.
And I always enjoy tuning in just to see a quick respise on what I just covered in 20 minutes, pared down to like 3 to 5, right?
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I mean, being a content creator is an amazing journey. I love it. It's a ton of fun. But then sometimes when you, especially when you've just covered a game yourself, like it's one thing when you're doing research for a game you want, research a game, or even a research for a game I might want to cover. Then I'll dive into 20, 30 minutes of content because it matters more. But if I just played a game, do I really need to watch a 20-minute review from insert channel name here? That's not what I'm looking for. But I do love second opinions, and being able to get someone else's second opinion in 4 minutes is valuable to me. And this is where 3-minute board games, for however good they are, once I have a board game, I don't need the mechanical breakdown. I know that. I know the mechanical breakdown. So that's when I specifically want the other opinion, and as short as possible in terms of its delivery.
So, my number 13 is going to be a channel that, so when I first started, I did a deep dive into the YouTubes to figure out who's out there, who's creating content, who do I want to connect with over the next few years, and I found a lot of channels who I have been pestering ever since. I think that's the best way to put it. And this is going to be one of them. I'm now Facebook friends with them. I believe they know my name.
I can't
I'm not
wait to hear
entirely
this.
sure. This is Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
I do know them.
Yeah, they're really it's a couple.
Yep.
And they're very, very sweet on camera.
Yes.
I since I first discovered them, have not only gotten behind their initial mission with their YouTube channel. I loved the core concept of it, and it was before they changed their name.
What was the name before?
Now, so it used to be Pounds and Inches.
Okay.
And they were doing a board game review as a couple. Alongside of
Little
a
tidbit
sort
of how to be healthy and whatnot.
A lifestyle
Yeah.
plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about general daily dieting and stuff like
Yes.
that. And so I loved them back then. I still love their content right now. I believe they are contributors to the Dice Tower Network.
Yep.
But that is not where I watch them. Genuinely, I tune in to Ryan and Bethany's Board Game Reviews, their channel standing at 1.1 or 1.17 subscribers currently. They're going to be another family-focused channel, so they don't cover a lot of the, it's more party games, it's more lightweight games. They don't cover the giant big box ones that I cover, but I do enjoy digging into that type of content from time to time. I'm interested to see what comes out. And I find them to be a great thumb on what couples can play together.
Yeah.
I think if you're a gaming couple, if you have a partner who is maybe interested in the hobby and you want to start diving in a little bit deeper and find good options for you to play together, they not only document their journey very well as a relationship, but they also do a really good job at talking about games and the experience of gaming as a pair. The other thing is I find them really, really there's like empathetic in a way. Like I just really love listening to them. I find them genuine, and I find
they
them
are real.
Good.
They're real
Yeah.
people. I completely agree with you. They interestingly enough, they weren't on my shortlist, primarily because despite the fact that I know their channel, I didn't think of them as being short content. I don't know why.
They don't have a series that's directly titled like Board Games in a Minute, but I went to their channel and they are consistently and constantly under that 10-minute mark, which is an impressive thing.
I'm looking at their channel right now. I mean, it's on the screen right here, and I'm seeing that, and I just didn't think of them as inherently a short channel, but clearly they are, and they would 100% have been on my shortlist because ever since I've been watching them, I have, like you said, I've enjoyed the way they bicker together, the way that they're not really even bickering. It's even further step removed. It's just they're together. They are real. They are genuine people in front of the camera having a good time. They occasionally bring their kids in, talking about a kid's game or this or that. Like you said, very family focused. All in all, I have thoroughly enjoyed every single time they show up, whether I watch their video when it shows up in my feed or whatnot, or when it shows up in the Dice Tower Network. Every single time I have consistently enjoyed their stuff.
I always categorize groups or other content creators in a few different, areas. Like people that I'd love to collaborate with, which of course I would. People who I'd like to meet at a convention, and then like the third tier, like my highest tier is I just really want to play a game with you. All the other stuff would be great and nice. That's lower down on the list, though. At the end of the day, my object is to convince you to sit down and play a game with me. They're at the top of that list.
Excellent. And I see they have a Tidal Blades Heroes of the Reef review coming in at 14 minutes. Not eligible for this video, but I want to watch that because I am very curious about. I'm gonna because I want to see their opinion on this game. I am very curious. They have a specific focus and they have a specific genre, and it's very family friendly.
Yes.
And yeah. Anyways, excellent choice, Jesse. I approve. You have good taste, my man.
I did it.
Okay. Coming in at my number 2, and I awkwardly forget. No, I remember who it is. I remember who it was. I couldn't remember for a second. This is one that I wonder.
That would have been great if you'd forgotten. I would have put myself in there.
I have it up. I have it up on the screen. I was just going to click on a tab. But it would have been a surprise to me. I would have clicked on the tab and been like, this guy. So this is one, and I'm going to share it because you can't see my screen, so I'll share it to our viewers. But I will tease you out of this one. This is one where I wonder if we have crossover. Their subscriber count is such that it would make sense that they would have been too high. You don't have them. Because if you're going low, no, you go lower to higher. So you might have them.
I do.
You might have him.
Okay.
He's coming in at 3.73 thousand subscribers. And when I say who it is, you're going to be like, I should have put him on the list. Actually, I think you should have put him on the list. Either way.
Maybe.
In any case, this is going to be LonelyMan Board Games.
No idea who that is.
Oh, come on, Jesse. Jesse, I am so disappointed in you.
I think didn't I point him out in my video as an honorable mention at the end of my
You
10?
might have. I think you did actually. I think you did have him in your video.
I have been following this guy since I was probably under 1,000 subscribers. But go ahead.
Yeah,
feel free.
This is one where I remember the first time I found his channel. It was a long time ago, and it was right when he was starting to put out Too Many Bones content. And I found his channel, and I was impressed at the combination. He does something you do very well and something you do very poorly. He does incredibly high produced videos, very highly produced videos, and then he's very, very speedy and efficient and condensed in his format and content.
So me but better.
You but better. Exactly, Jesse Anderson. So basically, this is when I found his content with Too Many Bones, and I started watching his videos. This is when I first discovered Too Many Bones, and I was having some trouble with the rulebook back then. I love Chip Theory games. I love the games that I play from them, and they seem like they are an amazing company, by the way. I'll remind me something in a minute. But in any case, so Chip Theory games, I was trying to dig my teeth into Too Many Bones because as much as the game is amazing, one of my favorite games of all times, and shame on you for getting rid of it, it was one that I was having a hard time.
Jan got rid of it. I still have mine.
Oh, good choice. I like you. I knew I liked you, Jesse.
I have my trove chest right there.
Oh, beautiful. Good camera angles. Nice. So
welcome.
he really helped condense a few key concepts, because what he does in his videos range from like 2 minutes to like 8 minutes, and they pick a game and they focus on a core aspect of the game. So he doesn't actually cover Too Many Bones in 4 minutes. He covers Too Many Bones in half an hour, spread out over multiple videos. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's quick, consumable content, easy to get to, easy to read, beautifully produced, pulls you in. He's got that underlying music just like you like. He's got lots and lots of good stuff. And I remember watching his stuff and thinking, I want to discover more on this channel. And he didn't have more. This is a while ago. He didn't have more. He had like 30 videos back then. I was like, I need more.
So here's what I can say. My only complaint for LonelyMan, he knows not only do I have his personal cell phone number, we have chatted quite a few times. He's another one I've been pestering since I was just a baby quack. My biggest complaint with LonelyMan is something that I struggle with as well. Production quality slows down output to a point where I feel like I would consume everything he puts out. He just doesn't put out enough to get my hunger, which is not that's a good problem to have, but I really love the stuff he makes. I genuinely do.
100%. Beautiful stuff.
He's better at B-roll than me almost 80% of the time.
This is a conversation that's not going to get me in any favor, so I'm just going to be like, So I will say, just to touch on that Chip Theory Bones, is completely unrelated, but it's something I saw in a Facebook group. Cloud's Burn Cycle just launched on Kickstarter, and on a Facebook group, and for anyone listening to this and watching this part, this is not a trick to go do something. You'll see in a second. Basically, someone was complaining about the fact that while he loves the concept of Chip Theory games, he finds that they price themselves out of the hands of average gamers. And so Josh Wilgus jumped into the thread and said, PM me, send me your address, I'm going to send you Too Many Bones. Plain and simple. Just to the point. Now, obviously, this is going to be, for anyone who listens to this, will be like, wait, I can just do that? I can just get... No, it's not going to work every single time. No. Not at all. But it's
one of those things where the personality of the content creator just is frustrated, and they're like, I'm so frustrated, I'm going to hug you. Yeah. And I like that response.
Yes. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Kudos to you, Chip Theory Games. When you see this, I should start sending these videos to people who I harass or praise or do anything to. In any case, harassing in particular, it's even better then. And that would be my number 11th. So what is your number 14th?
My number 14th and a half is going to be a channel who I, have recently become better friends with, and I think this is probably on your list as well, or you knew it was going to be on mine, and so you left it off. I'm bringing in Board Games in a Minute.
Board Games in a Minute. Darn it! This is the problem with putting my number one pick at the end. That was a mistake.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
No, that was a mistake. It was a tactical
I thought
error.
This was your number one. I thought it was, and I even debated holding off to give it room to be at the end. But,
It was a tactical error. I anticipated crossover on this one as well, Board Games in a Minute, and it was a tactical error to leave it till the end, because then now it leaves me with no number one pick. Thanks a lot, Jesse.
That's true. First off, leaves you with no number one pick, but also, this video is going to be 47 minutes long, attracting people who are looking for short-form content. If she's your number one, you got to shift her forward a little bit.
Also, inherently, this entire premise is a mistake. We're trying to promote short-term content by being in a long-term video, which is just a complete crossover. That's like advertising hot dogs in a car shop.
Well, first off, have you ever went shopping for a car?
Are there
you need a hot dog during that moment. Yes, absolutely.
Then this works.
It's the only reason I go looking at car dealerships. The other thing I would say is our audiences are used to long-form content, so we're tricking them into thinking they're getting a long-form video by promoting short-form content. I think that's my theory. Either way, that's not the point. Sarah Shaw, Board Games in a Minute. Alex's number one pick, my number 14th, but only because her subscriber count is somewhere in the middle of, I think she's at 1.1 right now as well.
1.19, yep.
1.19, which actually means I ordered her correctly because 1.17 is slightly lower than 1.19. Alex, I'll let you have the wheel. This is your number one. I've pulled it to the middle of this pack. Give it a spin.
No, we'll both take turns. We'll take turns. But this is Sarah Shaw. This is I have been harassing her since I don't know how long, but I saw her content on Facebook when she was just posting things on Facebook 6 months ago, somewhere in that range, and I just saw these 1-minute videos popping up, powered by TikTok, and I just clicked on them, and I was like, that was insanely impressive. And then I clicked on another one. That was insanely impressive.
Along the lines of, let's talk about Pachacuna. She just goes and she picks up pieces and she has board bits and she shows the box and it just becomes an absolute mess.
It's incredible.
And it's lovely.
Welcome to Pachacuna. This is a video about llamas. It's incredible. It's got movement and alleys and mountains and tops and this. And it's a really cool board game and it's Kickstarter right now and I think you should check it out.
I tried to do a 1-minute video and I'm going to have to do this at some point because I am so bad at hitting that 60-second mark. The amount of knowledge she has to have combined with the amount of retakes she has to do to get it within 60 seconds.
And the handfuls of components that are off camera. Like, she must have stacks of components off camera in front of her. People don't realize or think about this, but that means there's piles of components in front of her that have to be picked up, put to the side, and then reshot take after take after take until you get it down. Because, I mean, like, 3-minute board games, as amazing as he is, has this, like, 3 to 4.5 minute segment that he can kind of make it work in. She has between 57 and 1 minute. She has a 3-second window to hit every single time.
So, here's the thing with her content and why everyone watching us should be following her. If you want to know if our 17-minute video is worth watching, watch 60 seconds of her talking to determine if you want to invest the rest of the time. Alex talks
100%.
about investing all the time. He talks about investing in board games, investing money, resource. The time is going to be the element that I think he wants to focus on as well. Invest your time wisely. Don't watch either of our channels. Check in on Board Games in a Minute first.
100%. I'm with you. I mean, you just about my, my allocation of priorities, but there's a reason why she has been one of the heaviest creators I push on my channel whenever I see a video of hers. And It's not because it's going to be the be-all and end-all, but it's exactly what you said. A minute of her explaining a game tells you whether you should seek out more content. You found out, and you can choose what the next form of content is. Maybe you escalate to 3 minutes in 3-minute board games. Maybe you jump to Stella's Short and Sweet. Maybe you go to one of yours or my videos where we just talk about things for a long time until people click away. It could be anything.
It's true.
It could, by the way, if you're still here at this point in the video, good for you.
You're very charming. So
yes,
I'd
absolutely, 100%. Yeah. But that is basically my number one, and you can talk. Your turn. You talk about her.
Well,
or you just
I was just talking about her. Let's give a 10-second thing for people to go like sub to the people we've listed already. We'll be back in 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds? Oh, 10
seconds.
Hey,
Alex,
break.
How are you?
I'm doing good, honestly.
How are you doing?
Well, so what I'm doing right now on the sidebar while people go sub to her channel.
Yeah, while they're going to subscribe.
Yeah,
yes.
So I'm actually picking one of my backups because I feel cheated on my number one pick. So I'm putting one of my backups to a video because again it's a short list.
Welcome back to the show. Super glad to have you here. Hopefully you were able to tune in and subscribe. Alex, I believe we're on your 13th.
My number 13th and a half, otherwise known as my number one pick, is going to be, and this is this
your number one? Aren't we on 4s?
4s, 15s. I don't know. I mean, you have one pick left.
I have 6 on my card.
Well, that's
so I have
unfortunate.
2 picks left.
So you have 6 on your card? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. This is a reason why our content is not under 10 minutes.
I picked an honorable mention. I needed one in there.
Oh, I still have another honorable mention after this. But in any case. Shh. But the other one I can explain more why it's honorable mention. This one, my number one pick
I don't know why
now,
you're making this video go on longer. You just go ahead and go with your pick.
My number one pick now is going to be Paula Deming. Paula Denning. I always say Paula Deming, but it's Paula. No, it is Paula Deming. Paula Deming.
We're picking talents that are just joining forces with a bunch of our with a bunch of our other content creating teams.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
We have the Dice Tower, we have Spotlight, and Paula Deming is with Watch It Played now.
Yep.
And I think they're putting out some of the best content in our industry by far.
So the reason she didn't make my list initially until Sarah Shaw got cheated from me by you, and now I need another pick. The reason she didn't make my list initially is not because her content isn't amazing. Her content is incredible, but rather her content is a board game adjacent, which means it's not like I don't think I've ever gotten a useful piece of information from her videos, but I have been entertained to no end. She puts out these 2 to 5 minute long skits or songs or things that are just amusing. Little skits about playing solo games with her stuffed animals. Little conversations about her most recent
Look at
one.
the stuff.
Isn't it sweet? Wouldn't you think my collection's...
My collection's complete. Wouldn't you say I'm the girl?
The girl who has everything. For those who have been waiting for a duet, that just happened. Her most recent video, The Dice Man Cometh, is entirely horrifying. It is absolutely horrifying. It is 2 minutes and 27 seconds of your life that you should spend watching this horrific video that is terrifying. Go ahead, Jesse.
Well, she's a professional actor.
Yep.
Along with the fact that she has, I assume, a arsenal of friends who are not only good on camera, but good behind the camera. And so these are like professional quality produced little skits that not only have someone who is talented in front of the camera, but also a crew that's talented behind the camera when it comes to editing and production. These are what you'd get when it comes to like the closest to mainstream board game content that you could probably find.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And her stuff was amazing before she got involved in any of these crews. I remember I was subscribed to her for a long time. Solid stuff.
Yes.
Check out Paula Deming, my number one pick, replaced in, subbed in, and now, Jesse Anderson, it is time for your number one and obviously last pick of this incredibly long show.
Yeah, definitely, I definitely would not have anyone to like bring on the list afterwards. And again, my number one is not ordered around number ones. Technically, 3-minute board games should be in this location, but I said their name wrong because I trusted what my card said, and I don't know
Rookie
who
mistake.
wrote this.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, that's true. But if you've watched any of my other videos, this is my lifeline, man. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot outside of my note card. Yeah, that is the cornerstone of this entire operation. There you go. I'm proud of
No, they got nothing on them, but in theory, there could be something on them.
Oh. My number 24 is going to be a channel that I have been entertained would be the best way to describe my interaction with this channel. Standing at 4.68, I'm choosing two what I would say are best friends that are in front of the camera. Never Bored Gaming.
Ooh.
And that is a entirely accurate description of the way that I interact with their videos. They have reviews that are oftentimes almost consistently land underneath that 10-minute mark, and their content is what I can say about them. My favorite thing about them is they both have a degree of camera presence and personality.
3 of them.
That I just
3 of them.
enjoy. 3 of them. I was watching. I was watching some of their most recent stuff, which only has the most recent 2.
That's interesting. That's a good point. I wonder where the third one's.
Yeah.
Never Bored Gaming. When you watch this, tell us where your buddy's gone, because you're right.
That's true. That's a fair point. All the recent stuff only has the most recent 2. That being said, they have a level and degree of personality and engagement when it comes to sitting in front of the camera that one of the things I try to do is make it feel like you're just friends hanging out.
Yes.
And they do that really, really well.
100%.
And so I look up to them when it comes to that degree of production. And, of course, with the walls and walls of sound foam, they have good quality content and they have very clean audio.
Yeah, their stuff is... I mean, honestly, I'm disappointed in myself again for the second time this evening that they weren't even on my short list. And looking at their stuff, you're 100% correct.
you wouldn't think of them as under 10, but they consistently are.
No, they're good, and their stuff is, like you said, they have everything. You're completely on point. They are friends. They are friendly. They have amazing thumbnails that pull you in. They look like they're having a good time. They also have a very big Instagram presence as well, which is how I initially discovered them. And then they're like, check out our YouTube video, and I was like, okay, great, I will, because you told me to, and I'll listen to you. And so I hopped over there, and those sound foam things, I've been wanting to do that for a while to my basement behind me to like make something better than the walls, and I always felt self-conscious that I'd be copying them because it's so good.
You don't necessarily have to do the panels behind you. The most key part for audio, if you want to reduce a little bit of echo, is actually going to be the corners of your room, because those corners of your room is where the audio actually hits and bounces. You think of sound as moving around
you're
the space.
thinking of this about the quality of the audio, which is probably a fair point. I just think that the wood white paneling behind me looks boring. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And I'm just using good sound foam as an excuse. But in any case, Neverboard Gaming, with their consistent and very, there's a word for it, not recognizable. They're recognizable backgrounds, their quality reviews. There's a concept in content creation that we see it from time to time, where the concept of you deserve more subs. Where you look at someone's channel and you're like, how do you not have a bigger presence? And
there's also the concept of, how is Alex gaining so fast? Dear God.
Yes.
But you were saying,
I was saying,
Neverboard Gaming is one of those channels that you look at and you go, why are you only at 4.68?
100%.
Your stuff is good. You're entertaining. Your quality's high. Like, let's get you up there a little bit.
And the reason I'm picking on them as the thing that triggered that thought process is, let's for instance, let's talk about LonelyMan Board Games, like you mentioned. His stuff is amazing, but the consistency is a little lacking. So there's a certain understanding of, okay, great, perhaps that's been a contributor to why he hasn't grown as fast as I would like.
My two earlier with minimum player count and Board Games in a Minute,
they're
both newer channels.
They're new, 100%.
So they have room to grow, and it looks like they are doing that.
Yeah, 100%. But like Neverboard Gaming falls into this category of they have a ton of content. They're coming in at 742 videos, all reviews on tons of popular games.
That's more than both of us have.
Both of us combined, possibly.
Yeah.
And the consistent quality of their stuff and the consistent entertainment, the concise viewpoints, everything about them checks all the boxes of why don't you have more subs and what can we do to change that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things we can do to change that is put their name at the end of a 45-minute video where we talk about short content.
We are bad people, Jesse. We are bad people. We do not respect. Oh my gosh, we are bad people. We should have a second follow-up video where we do all these names in reverse order.
And in 10 minutes.
And in 10 minutes. Oh, good idea. We could. Because then we can have a video on your channel where we do the short version, and then I say check out Jesse's channel for the short version, you say check out Alex's channel for the long version. We can make this happen. And by the way, if you got to this point in the video and you go to Jesse's channel to see that video and it's not there, then it means we may or may not have actually executed on this idea. But in case we did, go to Jesse Anderson's channel, link down below, and check out the shorter version of this video. In case we did. Maybe. No editing, Jesse. We can move on from here. In any case, so that would be... So what is your special... whatever bonus pick? And I have one too. I'm going to you go first.
My bonus pick is the Brothers Murph, which I think they would appreciate that that little bit of
the blah blah blah. They would appreciate the blah blah blah. 100%.
Yeah, my bonus pick is the blah blah blah. The reason the Brothers Murph are my bonus pick is because I don't necessarily always go to them for shorter content, but their short content has a unique factor. Their short content is going to be topical content around the board game industry. Yes, I love it. These are such interesting little questions, conversations, dynamics, and interactions they're having with their audience. And really, the only reason that I made sure to bring them in here is not only people should go follow them, they are hilarious, they are great, they are personalities.
100%.
I just wanted a second on your channel because I know they're going to watch this. Someone's going to send it to them. I just want to say, hello, my name is Jesse Anderson. I come from Quackalope. I would like to be your friend. Can we do things, please?
Yes, I'm with you. When call me first. This is on my channel.
No,
me.
Literally 2 days ago, I messaged Ruel because he was going to be on a live stream with him, and I told him, I said, please tell them hello, and I'd like to be friends. That's all that's my petition.
Yeah, the first time I saw these guys, the Brothers Murph,
You leave my friends alone, Alex.
We'll fight. We'll talk later, Jesse. But
We'll
I
have a
first discovered
conversation.
the Brothers Murph back when I was watching. They had a playthrough of Wonderland's War, I believe, and I saw these guys, and they're just immensely entertaining while they're playing. And then I clicked through to their channel, and I saw this Metagame Minute, and honestly, most of their content I generally don't watch because they have this other segment that I particularly am pulled in by, which is like 40 reviews in an hour, and where they rapidly go through reviews of games. And I think, and this is my own personal feedback, take it for what it's worth.
That would probably count as under 10 if you went by game.
If you go by game. So I kind of wish, Brothers Murph, just in case you're wondering, I kind of wish it were like 20 reviews in 30 minutes. An hour is just generally too long of a commitment, says the guy who's currently 49 minutes into a video with his friend. But
all right.
In any case...
Friend.
The coworker. In any case, sort of. So whatever you are, Jesse. So I like those as well, but I find that I consistently watch almost every single Metagame Minute, and the only reason, in case you felt offended that Jesse picked you and I didn't, you were on my short list, and I pushed you out because I have another list planned of top 10 YouTubers for conversational videos, and that was the list I was going to put you on for the Metagame Minute, and I still will, because
I cannot wait to be on that list.
We'll talk, Jesse. We'll talk. you have to step up the level and quantity of your the quantity, not the
Who's your number 48?
The quality of your metagame of your conversational pieces is amazing, but you shy away from it. You don't do it as often as I would like. I want to see softer Jesse talking to the camera. In any case, my 48, if I can find the tab for them, I've lost the tab. This is what happens when you do things. And here we go. I found the tab. Awkward switching of screens on my side. This is a BoardGameCo video. We don't edit. We just try to find hacks.
It's not produced by me.
Exactly. So this is going to be one-stop co-op shop. And the reason they made my shortlist is because if you go to their page and you try to find things that are under 10 minutes, it doesn't seem like it's a real thing. But if you pay attention, they are, because he has this segment that I particularly love called 5 in 5, where he basically does this mini review, and he has other things that are under 10 minutes, but the 5 in 5 is going to be the consistent one that I enjoy, that he basically sits there and goes through 5 pros or cons in 5 minutes, and he generally sticks to that 5 minutes roughly.
He was on my short list. I like their content a lot. I will tell you, and I will tell him why he didn't make my cut.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I have this weird fixation with quality, with production quality. Why do you do your 5 in 5 against a warehouse panel of like wooden boards with unorganized games? Every time I watch one of them, I want to pay attention to the content you're talking about, but I cannot get past your background.
Mike, for what it's worth, just because I think multiple tiers of feedback are important, doesn't bother me in the slightest. I find it... I just think you're in your basement corner.
Every time it crosses my mind, it'd be so simple just to, like, reorganize it a little bit.
You're just saying reorganize the games on the shelf.
Just clean it up a tiny bit. Same corner, just make it aesthetically pleasing. Slightly.
Mike, apparently, if you want to gain a sub or something like that, you can just reorganize your entire game collection.
I'm already subbed. It doesn't matter. It's just my little quirk. It's the thing that left it off the list. I'm super glad you brought him in because he deserves to be here.
His 5 in 5 is great. Again, consistent quality, to the point, break even. The only reason he made my short list is because a significant majority of his content is not under the 10-minute mark. But 5 in 5, excellent segment. Subscribe to One Stop Co-op Shop. Subscribe to everyone. There will be links down below throughout this video. And you subscribe to everyone, and then you could head on over to Jesse Anderson's channel, Quackalope, where there may or may not be a video talking about the exact same 10 people in a much shorter time frame.
Yes. Here's the thing. When you go see that video, it's going to be very different because I have this weird ingrained nature of, like, I need my production quality to be something above BoardGameCo's to just justify my existence in this world. And so, like, I'm down to do it, but you've just signed yourself up for resetting up some other complicated cameras.
But it has to be under 10. That's all. Under 10. It doesn't matter when you do it. Yeah.
We'll get it under 10, which means I need to be able to edit as well. All that being said, those of you that have made it to this point, thank you so much for joining us. Alex and I have... buddy, we met because of a top 10 list.
100%.
And here's the cool thing. I genuinely want to connect and collaborate and do as much as we can with the rest of this industry. And I know you have the same heart.
100%.
So those of you that are on this list or other content creators that are watching that maybe we just aren't aware of at this point, like, reach out to us, connect with us. we're just in love with this space. We want to see everyone grow together, and so this is fun. I'm glad. I'm thrilled that we were able to do a list together. I hope we get to do more down the road.
Yeah, and take this how you want, Jesse. This one's significantly better than I thought it would. I thought this would be a fun video. This was immensely more fun than I thought it would be. And that basically is our hour-long video, nearly an hour-long video, of the top 10-ish shortest content creators you can watch in case you actually made it to the end.
Top 10 under 10 in 10.
Exactly. 10 something. 10 units of something is darn sure. In any case, I don't even know how to end this. We can end this my way. It's my channel. In any case,
wait.
Until next time, have a good one. You can do your thing.
So, I mean, well, if we're doing a video on my channel, end it my way as well. But whatever you do, whatever the case, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you next time.
And have a good one. It makes more sense in that order.